When I began my audio journey, owning a custom IEM has been one of my dreams. I was utterly fascinated by the process of getting the molds of your ear and, getting an IEM that suits your ears uniquely. And I was delighted when I saw that here in Poland we have our very own brand that makes custom IEMs at a great price and at a great performance. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are taking a look at Ears Aurum, the flagship IEM from our Polish brand Ears. It's a tribrid with electrostatic, balanced armatures and dynamic drivers. It's priced at €1,300, but that may change depending on whether you want the custom or the universal version. And it's also dependent on the cosmetics that you want, the colors, the golden flakes that we have here, for example. Whatever you want, you can get done, and that's what the price is going to depend on as well. Let's get to the unboxing. Inside a very sleek, minimal black cardboard box, we have this Pelican style travel case, and it already shows the craft ears kind of professional DNA. You're supposed to take those IEMs on tours, on concerts, basically wherever, and not have to worry about, your precious earphones getting damaged. So here we have the box. It's very practical, it's very sturdy. It has plenty of space for your tips, for your earphones, for your cable. So in terms of unboxing experience and in terms of the practicality of it all, 10 out of 10 for craft ears. Definitely. Another thing I would like to direct your attention towards is the stock cable on this thing. It also displays kind of the professional DNA of craft ears. It's supposed to be taken on stage and it doesn't get tangled, it doesn't do any kind of that stupid stuff. It looks pretty good, and I must say, in terms of stock cables, this is definitely one of the better things that I have seen in terms of, other brands, because as you probably know, many brands don't really get how to make a good stock cable. Fortunately, here this is not the case. It's very good. That's it. In terms of fit, I have seen no issue here. I've got the universal model right there. One thing that you probably should note is that they kind of stick out far away. It's like 1 centimeter from your head. So they're kind of bulky, but that shouldn't pose an issue, in your regular listening sessions or if you're on stage, for example. Now let's take a look at the sound. First, let me talk about the sound kind of overall. I think one of the biggest strengths of the Aurum, especially compared to their previous models like the 4, is that it's a very forgiving, smooth, pleasant headphone. The Craft 4 has been kind of more aggressive in terms of treble. This is a bit more forgiving. Apart from that, it's a very natural sounding IEM. The technicalities are on point, but there's something I would like to discuss about it later on in the video. And I love how balanced this sound is. Nothing gets nothing jumps at you, nothing gets too complicated, too overbearing maybe, and long listening sessions are an absolute pleasure when it comes to the Ears Aurum. Getting into the specifics, bass first. The bass here is very concise and tight and technical. The punch here isn't like tectonic or stuff like that. It's the same expression Kamil used in his written review. Check it out in the link below. But it's definitely there, it's present, and it's physical. It kind of plays well with how the midrange and the treble are presented. It kind of adds to the smooth, natural, laid-back listening kind of experience. The midrange is a very strong point in those earphones. It's smooth, it's kind of romantic, lush. The lower midrange is a little bit recessed, so if you're into those deep male vocals, you may be a little bit disappointed, but apart from this little caveat, this is a very strong contender when it comes to midrange. The detail, the accuracy is of course on point. And whether you're listening to an electrical instrument or to a solo vocalist, whatever, there's always gonna be that natural DNA in those, that smoothness, that relaxed listening. The treble here, as I've mentioned before, is kind of more laid back than it is with the Craft 4, if you know those, of course. It's also been reviewed on Ear Fidelity, also gonna be linked down below for you. I really like treble on these IEMs. It really adds to the overall engagement factor of the entire IEM basically. It ties in very well with how the midrange and the bass is presented. It's a bit laid back, but it's not recessed by any means. Well, nothing in this IEM, apart from maybe the lower midrange, is recessed. Everything is very well balanced and smooth, but I really like how the treble kind of pronounces its energy in there, and it strikes a perfect balance between a great texture, great dynamics, great technicality, while also being very good for, you know, those treble sensitive folks. Well, if you're treble sensitive, this is definitely a treat for you right there. Let's talk about technicalities now, and here the little elephant in the room for me is the soundstage, especially its depth. This is not the most spacious IEM out there. It definitely gets beaten by something like the OG Mast. However, when it comes to the overall presentation in terms of positioning and in terms of the imaging of the instruments' voices, then thanks to the great clarity of it all, the precise kind of imaging and lots of air between all those instruments, it still gives you a very great, airy and very technical presentation. So even though this is definitely not the largest soundstage in an IEM, it still does a great job when it comes to presenting, you know, more complicated kind of imaging tasks and stuff like that. Overall, when you listen to those earphones, it feels like they're tailored for those long listening sessions that I've been raving so much about throughout this whole review. When I put these on for the first time, I haven't even realized how fast the time has passed ever since I started my listening session. It's a very natural, mellow and smooth IEM with great technicalities to boot, and I have to say, at 1300 euros, this has to be one of the greatest contenders in this price range when it comes to IEMs. What I absolutely love about those IEMs is the price to performance ratio. Getting a flagship IEM at 1300 euro with a custom option is just amazing. Also keep a lookout for craft ears, because in a few weeks, maybe a few months, we're going to get a new line of IEMs, and those were a smash hit, and I can only wonder how the new ones are going to sound. And I'm very excited for that as well. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Aurum. This has been Matthew. And let me know in the comments, have you ever owned a Craft Ears IEM? What do you think about custom IEMs overall, and do you own any? As always, I would love a discussion in the comments with you guys. And as always, see you guys in the next one. Bye.